Let's check if the stream is working. Okay, everything is working. So, hello everybody, welcome to the video. As usual, a new video every day, but today's video is a little bit special. Currently we are 100 subscriber, especially 101 subscriber precisely. I really feel happy, I really feel appreciated that this channel reached 100 subscribers in only 1 week or about 1 week and a half. I started actually this channel on 17 November and today it's 29. So it's about 1 week and a half or 2 week actually. It's 2 week, 1 week and a half, 2 week. I really feel humbled, knowing that there are people that love the same things that I love, knowing that they are willing to support me, to support the channel. I really feel happy, and this really cheers me up. So thank you everyone for the support. To everyone who commented to the last videos, who viewed all our videos, who liked the videos, who subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate those things. So as usual, you can find me on GitHub, LinkedIn, or Instagram. This is my GitHub profile. And without further ado, thank you Ryan. Welcome stream, man. Welcome, buddy. So without further ado, as usual, let's jump in the lead code problems. So today, as usual, we're gonna solve some lead code problems based on the theme, and today's theme is space actually. So if we have time, we will solve 3 problems, but if we don't, let's just take 2. So the first problem will be merge intervals. We're gonna schedule intergalactic trade routes efficiently. Again, thank you everyone for the support. Today we reach 100 subscribers in the channel. This is really amazing. I didn't imagine that this channel will reach 100 subscribers in only 1 week and a half. This is really amazing. And without further ado, let's jump to the problems. So the first problem is merge intervals. It's a medium problem. Everything is set up. So this problem will have array as input. Let's delete that. Let's take something to draw on. This. Everything is working. So the input will be an array of arrays. So given an array of interval where interval of I equals start of I and end of I. Merge all overlapping intervals and return an array of the non-overlapping intervals that cover all the intervals in the input. So the example, we have this, and as output we're gonna get this. Since interval 1, 3 and 2, 6 overlap, I'll merge them into 1, 6. So what does it mean by overlap? One interval contains or contain a part of another interval. Let's draw something just to clarify the problem. And then 1, 4, 4, 5. The output is 1, 5 because 4 is a common element in those two intervals. Let's say that this is our line of intervals. Let's make it straight. So let's say this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say 6. So here we have intervals. We have, for example, 1, 3 and 2, 2, 6. Those two intervals have this part in common, so we have to just make it as one interval. Well, this seems not that hard. We'll see. I think it's a normal one. What approach we're gonna use to solve this problem? Clearly we have to use a for or a while loop. A for because I know the size of the exterior array. Just go another note, new one. So what are our objectives? We have to check if there is no overlapping intervals, and if we find them, we have just delete. So we're gonna delete. Hi Muhammad, how are you? Welcome stream, man. So we're gonna check if there is no overlapping interval, and if we find them, we're just gonna concatenate them. This doesn't seem that hard. So now we're gonna call the approach. I think there is a lot of approach. Main one is we're gonna just iterate through the exterior array. Exterior array, and or we can use a different approach for this problem. Well, the thing that I'm thinking of right now is we can just initialize a counter. Let's suppose it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's say that we have this interval, which is 1, 3, and we have 2, 4, and then another one who is like 5, 7. This 7. I'm gonna just iterate, just increment this counter, which is I. See, it's 0, so he begin here, and then and then he's 1, and then increment it by 1. If there is one interval that this counter belongs to, then we're not gonna do anything, we're just going to increment it. But if the counter belongs to 2 or more intervals, then we're gonna just concatenate them with the min and the max of the 2 intervals, or the 3, or anything. But this seems really complicated, really. So we're gonna just stick with the first approach, which is iterate through the exterior array and compare every interior array to the others array, or we can compare the min and max, the min or max, and in every in other cases we can compare them together. To the authors array. So if we found that the min and max don't belong to any other arrays, we're gonna just increment, so we're gonna just go to the next array. And if we found that the min and max actually belong, to any other. But if we have more than 3, we don't have just 1. So we're gonna concatenate the new one. We're gonna concatenate them. We're gonna concatenate one by one to any other interval, we just have to patinate one by one until we have no we have no overlap intervals. I think this is the main key, and then we just have to return it, and finally return it. Alright. So how we're going to translate those into code? Let's put that aside. Let's begin with the condition of the if the exterior list have only one element, which can be a empty list or any other list, one interval, so we can just return interval len of intervals equal 1. We just have to return it. But this is good. For element in range len of intervals, then we're gonna check every min and max. So we have to initialize those. Min equal let's call it min1 equal min of intervals of 5. And max1 equal max of intervals of 5. Compare the min or max so I'm gonna compare it to the other list. I'm gonna make another counter in range I plus 1 len of intervals. So this will take the complexity of O n power 2. There is no remark on the time complexity. Good. Welcome everyone to the stream. And then I'm gonna just compare the min and the max. If min 1, just make the structure. If min 1 is greater than min of, oh, we also have to give the main, so we just have to copy paste this, min 2 and min 2 intervals g and g. If min 2 is superior than or greater than min 1 greater than min 2, then we're gonna make a new array, make a new array, make a new array composed of min 1 no, I cannot do this. Oh, the 20 minutes. Or we can simply put it in one list. Put all the elements in one list, and then if min 1 is superior than min 2, then we can give the interval of g, the first element of interval of g, the first element of g of 0 equal the min 1 or let's just the for loop was not very helpful when we're gonna just append new lists. So just have to modify the already list. We can. So interval of I of 0 will be min 1. Okay, that's cool. So next we're just going to compare the other interval. And if min 2 is superior than min 1, we have also to include those. I think this one is very long. And now about the max. If max 1 is greater than min 1, superior than min 2. Oh no, min 2. Superior than min 2. Max 1 superior than max 2. Then interval of I of 1, second one will have max 1, and if I of 1 will have max 2. x2. With me. And then we're gonna delete the guess master. Best wrong. Let's check if this is correct. So we're gonna iterate through this list. Let's say we're comparing two lists. 1, 4, 7 and 5, 7. So here we have, this is M1, this is max 1, this min 2, and this is max 2. If min 1 is greater than min 2, which is not the case, so it's gonna go with the next condition. If min 2 greater than min 1, which is the case, so interval of I of 0, min 2 is greater than min 1. So interval of I of 0, I'm gonna just have min 1. This is great. If max 1 greater than max 2, which is not, I think we have to include the equal also. What if it's equal? Yeah, we have to include it. If max 1, if max 1 is greater than max 2, which is not the case, oh no, so then no, this is correct. If max 1 greater or equal, max 1 greater or equal than max 2, which is the case, so interval of I of 1, we're gonna have max 1. This is correct. Or max 2 is not greater, so this will be the correct answer, and this we're gonna just make it 0 and 0. And then if one of those condition is correct, so the next array will, I don't want to delete it, or can we just delete it? For Merry Christmas. Okay, let's just delete it. Interval of G. Intervals. I think this will raise an exception of the iteration thing. So just copy this. Man, the code is so big. And then we're gonna just delete all the oh, we're gonna delete it anyway. So okay, let's test another case. Let's say we have here 5 9, and then we have here 6 and 11. Okay, so min 1 is not greater than min 2. Then we're gonna go here. Min 2 is greater or equal than min 1. So this is the case. Interval of I of 0 will have min 1. This is correct. And then he's gonna delete it. Oh no. He's not supposed to delete it. He's not supposed to delete it. He has to delete it after all of this is So I'm gonna make another variable to test if it's under the this condition or not. If s is greater than 2, so he's just gonna delete the if it's greater than 1, actually he's gonna delete it after all this. Yes. Greater or equal 1, you're gonna delete intervals of g. So max 1 is greater than max 2 into max 1 is not greater, max 2 is greater, so interval of I of 1 will have max 2, so 9 here will be replaced by 11, and then he entered those two conditions twice, so s will be 2, which is greater or equal than 1, so we're gonna delete this. And then he's gonna iterate through this list. I think this let's test the last test case. We have 2 and 6 and 6 and 8. Here 2 is not it's not greater, min 2 is greater, so interval of I will be which is 2. Okay, and s equal 1 here, and then s. Oh, we have also to compare those two. How to compare them? So هو ترمينيتر وما تنساش ترمينيتر بايثون ما عندي في بالي تخدم بالسي بلس بلس. I think welcome stream man. وانتي اريدكم وانتي تونسي. والله ماذا بيا نخدم جافا ولا سي بلس بلس، مانيش اسبوع متمكن منه، ماذا بيا لنا نخدم في حاجه متمكن منها، ما ان شاء الله في الفيوتشر I will try to solve those with C++ or Java. I mean, I can code better in Java, but I've been coding in Python for like 3 years, and I'm better in it, so I think we're good in Python. Thank you, welcome man, welcome to the stream. So we have to test this test case. If max 1 equal min 2. So interval of I of 1 will be max 1 or min 2. It's the same anyway. And then he's gonna iterate s increment s by 1. So I'm gonna have 2. And then we're gonna compare 8 to 6. 8 is greater than 6, so this is the case. Interval of I equal max, and then he's gonna delete this because s is greater than 3. Is greater than 1 actually. First interval. I think this is good. And after all this, you're just gonna return the list. Okay, let's test it. Len foreign range length of interval range len so for range also index out of range. I know that we're gonna face those problems. So min 2 equal min len of intervals. For in let's say for G in intervals of I till the end. So I'm gonna just min of G. So G will be the list itself. And then after all this, I can just delete G. Whoa. I'll be I want to print, let's print intervals after every iteration. So here we have, why it looks like that. Why does this look like this? Is Menu gonna return a list? I was gonna return an integer. I should have to use list.men. List main value من list 1 2 3. It's gonna turn an integer. Don't know why he's done like this. So min1 equal, so here min1 equal 1 and max1 equal 3, and here I think this one. Well, the approach here is good. Why he's not? Why he's comparing? Oh. I think there is a better approach than this. It's already 42. I don't know why this doesn't work. Just want to see the approach real quick.
Losing a loved one is unbearable. Losing a child in war.
Hey everyone, welcome back, and let's write some more neat code today. So today let's solve merge intervals. We are given an array of intervals with a class or a meeting goals. Exact same with these intervals. These numbers are pretty descriptive, and we're gonna, it's not just so we have 1, 3, so 1 to 3 interval from 15 to 18, and the last interval is from over above. So now and start value going to the next start value. We want to go through our number end value. We want to go through.
Man, it's the first approach that I think of. Yeah.
For number line starting at the beginning, starting at the start value, going to the next start value, going to the next start value, and then continuing that, because this allows us to detect. So for example, we look at this interval first, we know it goes from 1 to 3. Next, we look at the second interval, it goes from 2 to 6, and since we just looked at the previous interval over here, we know that this one overlaps with this one. So what are we going to do? We're going to merge them together into a new interval. So it results in a new interval from 1 to 6, because remember, ultimately we are trying to merge the intervals. And then we go to our next starting position, which is 8. So we have an interval from 8 to 10, and we know it does not merge with this one because they're non-overlapping. We got some space over here, right? Lastly, we go to this interval, and it goes from 15 to 18. We know it does not overlap with this one. There's all this space in between, right? So just to reiterate, we're going to take our input list of intervals, sort by the start value of each interval, and then we're going to iterate through each start value, right? Starting at the first one, then the next one, then this one, then this one, and each time we're going to check, okay, does the current interval, does the most recent interval overlap with the previous interval? If it doesn't, we don't do anything. If it does, which it did in this case, then we can merge them into one interval. Now, it might seem unnecessary to even have a picture like this because this interval problem is actually straightforward, right? We just sort and then we merge the intervals. But there are a lot more difficult interval problems where I'm telling you, drawing a picture like this,
So I think I can work with his approach. Let's just clear this. So we're gonna begin with sorting the interval by the first element. What is the result of intervals that sort here in this case? None. Sort interval. Don't draw print intervals. It is already sorted. So I think I can do this. And then we're gonna use an iterator. For intervals. Oh no, for a range. Where we're gonna stop the so I is less than the max of the last interval, which is intervals minus one. out of 1. Yes. For intervals of in intervals or no, I'm gonna check if I is in the interval of not or not. I'm gonna check if it's in more than one interval. Oh, the one and the previous one.
Drawing a number line. So hopefully for us, what's the key? The key is going to stand for the interval, and what value of this interval are we going to use? We're going to use the first value, be sort of empty. I'm actually just so I can avoid an edge case. So we have it inserted into the output just so I can avoid an edge case. So we have initialized the interval. So now we're going to iterate through every single interval in sorted order. And technically we can skip the first one because we already added the first interval into the output. And instead of just having the interval itself, we know we're going to use the start and end value, so I'm just going to extract them like this. And so how do we know if the interval is overlapping with the most recent interval? Well, we can get from our output, this is why I added one so we can avoid the edge case. From our output, we can get the most recently added interval and get the end value of it, because that's what we need to know if it overlaps. So the end value of the most recent interval, we'll call it last end. And we're going to check of the current interval we're at, the start and end value we're iterating through. If the start is less than or equal to the last ending value, that means they're overlapping. The equal is important because they told us in the second example that we are counting equal as overlapping. So if they are overlapping, what are we going to do? We're going to merge them. How do we merge them? Well, all we have to do is take the most recently added interval and take the ending value of it and set it to the max of itself, which we already have in last end, and the max of the current end value that we're at. And the reason we need to take the max is, what if we had two intervals starting at 1, 5, and the second interval is 2, 4? Because we would iterate through them in this order, because this has a starting value of 1, this has a starting value of 2, but notice how this actually has a larger end value than this one. So if we just take 4 and merge this together and set this to 4, we're actually making the interval smaller. We want to keep the 5 because merging these two together is going to actually result in 1, 5. So in the case that they're non-overlapping, what are we going to do? Well, we don't have to merge, but we do have to take that interval and still add it to our output. So we're going to take start end and just add it to our output. So what would be an example of that? Well, what if we had 7, 8? Right, these two intervals are non-overlapping, so the result would actually be itself, right? We don't have to make any changes, we don't have to merge, we can just leave it as it is. And that's actually it, so we didn't really have to do anything. Since we used the built-in sort, we took care of the main part of this problem, and all we have to do now is return the output. And so this is a pretty efficient solution. I hope this kind of...
I think of this in the first approach, but it seems like it's gonna take a long execution time, so I didn't consider it as a great solution, but it is what it is. So I'll just write the intervals. I'm gonna sort them. Dot sort keep equal and I of 0. We're gonna sort them depending on the start of each interval, and then output equal intervals, a list of intervals of 0. For start and end in intervals on till the end. I'm gonna just list and equal output of -1 of 1 start is lower than last end. Then we just have to make the output the end of the output have the max of the between last end and this is another way of writing my previous code. So output at the end is gonna start, and then we just have to return output. I think this is it. Output intervals of 0. And what's the problems? Output was of 0. Okay, I'm just gonna append. So let's just append it. Equal an empty list, and then output get append. Intervals of 0. It has no attribute get item. سلام خليك وزاد سيرفر ديسكور هذا فيه كوميونيتي تحفون على الاخر تعمل سلام. ميرسي عايشك يعطيك الصحة. يلا ميرسي يا رب السلامة صباح الخير. So man, how are you so good at welcome stream, man. Thank you, but I'm not that good in coding. I'm I'm also 22 years old. I still don't have a degree. I'm studying right now software engineering. I started coding like 1 year ago, I think. Welcome stream. And with this, I don't get it. I really don't get why. I cannot append the first item. Just gonna say one. Let's just this. So I cannot get an item from the interval list. Oh, that's it. I think that's false. How do you learn to code? I see you're very advanced and I'm so. Oh, so first year. How do you learn to code? Well, I'm studying in college actually, and I did some project on my own. The last summer, I did a boot camp. And like any other software engineer, I learned from YouTube and other websites actually. You can visit my LinkedIn. I have the link in the bio. You can see what I achieved, and welcome. The syntax one. So this is right. And the execution time it's not that bad, huh? I'm learning from YouTube. I'll follow you on LinkedIn after my Overwatch game. Nice game, man. Thank you. So I think 1 hour 2 minutes. I don't really want the stream to be longer. So unfortunately today we have solved only one lead code problem. I think tomorrow we have to solve at least three problems. Thank you everyone for watching. For the new one, this day the channel reached 100 subscribers. That's really an amazing event. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you tomorrow.